welcome my friends. It's me, KP, and I'm here for ArtFoamies Fun Friday. I hope you are too. We're here tonight with a special pop-up shop for you all, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to share all the ArtFoamies with you and to talk about this special release. I'm a little nervous even tonight. So let me stop. I want to say hello to everybody and greet you because it is a really special night, and I want to address each of you, and I want to talk about Wendy. I think she's going to be here. If she's not already, let me say hi to Deb Peak, and you're here first, so thanks for being here. Anita, Roberta, Carissa, Christina, Catherine. I'm trying to read some of the comments. Yes. Oh my gosh, Catherine Guerrero, Carissa, Rini. Yes, it's Wendy. Oh my gosh. Who else? Bernadette. Yeah, Anita, who else is here? Cecilia. Oh my gosh, Colleen is here. Jim Smith is here. Diana, Bev, Puffer, Joni Coleman, Terry Moore, Stephanie, Tam is here. Patty Campbell, Linda Finney, Mary Lynn, and Wendy. Yay! Patty's Vintage Shop. Oh my goodness. Claire is here. Oh, I hope I'm not missing anyone. Maxie Moon is here. Lisa. Linda Weber. Oh my goodness. Carmen Jones. Ellen. Judith. Okay. I'm so excited that you're all here. Terry Dye. Anyway. Okay. So welcome to our second ever pop-up shop. And we are so over the moon, thrilled, excited, just happy. I really can't say enough yet. Linda, don't talk about my hair. We're not going to talk about hair. I still look like a calico cat, and I will be getting it fixed in a couple weeks before the kids' graduation. You know, it was either not show my face or just live with it. I tried, but hopefully after May 11th, you'll see a better look. I won't look like a calico cat anymore. Anyway, so let me just talk a little bit about this, okay? So, oh my gosh, Wendy from Bliss Angel Studios. I hope that you all follow her. I am very excited to be bringing you some of her ArtFoamies. It's kind of a long story, so I hope that you will hang out and watch a demo, and that you will Stephanie, thank you. Anyway, I hope that you will hang out, watch a demo, and get a little makey with me, and then after, come and join us for the after party. If you're in my Patreon, you can come to the after party. Wendy will be joining us and showing us some of her samples. We'll be chit-chatting like we always do. So I hope that we have a great after party. If nothing else, look, you can join my Patreon just to come to the after parties on Friday. It's a lot of fun. We really just hang out, chit-chat, catch up. You know, I usually do some kind of makey, answer questions and stuff like that. So anyway, Wendy is going to join us over in the after party for the Zoom at about 5 p.m. So I hope that you'll come on over there. I am going to, of course, be sharing. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. You all are so sweet. Anyway, so Wendy is going to join us for the after party, and she will be showing off her samples. We'll be talking about, you know, the inspiration for this collection. And of course, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about this as well. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and show you not only some of Wendy's art, but of course the new images, and just chat with you as I do a demonstration and show you some of the samples created with this wonderful collection of ArtFoamies. So thank you again, as always, for being here. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to have a little makey time. So let's see here. All right, let me get the I got to get the lights all fixed back up again, and hopefully that'll be a little better. So Wendy Aspinall's collection. I hope that you all follow Wendy. Her handle is Bliss Angels Studio, and Puff guessed. I didn't see where she guessed, but that's so awesome. I know she was trying to get some hints out of me, but I'm really no good at hints. Anyway, we do want to share Wendy's links here. So, Wendy, if you're on here and you want to type in your links, or Maxie Moon, anybody can jump in and share Wendy's website and her Instagram. First, I do want to talk a little bit about Wendy's artwork and kind of what started us off on this path. So I met Wendy online in around, I don't remember exactly, to be honest, when it was, but I want to say it was around 2018. And she became well, I met her through our mutual friend, Sandra Evertson. I hope that you all follow Sandra as well, Relics and Artifacts. Wendy has been on numerous design teams and, different, representing different companies, and always done really beautiful mixed media work. So I met her because she was actually on the design team for Sandra. And then she started, of course, using rubber, doing a lot with Rubber Moon stamps. And, you cannot, miss Wendy's craftsmanship and her abilities. So I wanted to share this doll with you because this is really one of the very first things that Wendy not only did for our company, as an example or as a project for ArtFoamies. This is using one of my very first ArtFoamie designs, Good Hair Day. And so, of course, I just fell in love with this doll and was like, wow. So then she was doing more and more as a design team member for Relics and Artifacts. And then later for Rubber Moon, we had sort of a collaboration design team for about 6 months. And Wendy was on that team as well, just wowing me with her projects and her mixed media, projects and abilities. So then, throughout these years, Wendy has been a wonderful member of our creative community. She has been a Moonie and a patron. And so last November, we actually got together. Yes, I know. This doll is just fabulous. And not only the doll itself, but just, the card that came with it. So beautifully done and presented. And here's the back. So you can see she also, used other ArtFoamies and then just, her stitching. These are all ArtFoamies on here as well. So anyway, of course, it really, got my attention. We have had the honor and pleasure of working with so many wonderful designers and people who do wonderful things with our ArtFoamies. But then as things progressed, as time went by, she was coming up with ideas for her own classes and her own sort of concepts. This, I don't know if all of you recognize, actually is my design, my very first figure it out goddess form, okay, for ArtFoamies. And then she asked me as a special sort of custom if I would do my same body shape, but with the word peace inside. So I did that. And then this is what she created with it. So even though, basically it was my stamp design, her aesthetic and her work, is her idea. And so I just said, I just saw such potential and seeing so many beautiful things coming from her studio, right? And so then I was seeing her set up her own website, begin to do videos, always sharing. And, then recently, I think it was in about November, she made me this beautiful journal. Okay. And we got together, in person in St. Louis, sort of near where I live. And, she presented me with this, and I said, why haven't you, done any art foamies? And she said, well, I would love to. I have so many ideas, but I just, you haven't really asked me for one thing. And she said, and I don't have a very big, social media following. And I have to be honest, this is one reason why I really wanted, it was very important to me to bring this collection to all of you, okay, is because I have to say this. For one thing, Wendy and I are only about a year or two apart. Okay, we're about the same age. And, I also don't have the biggest social media following, okay? I want people to know that you can be any age, okay? Where I am 57, I just turned 57. I believe that Wendy is about, I don't know, within a year or two of me, okay? So I think we're about the same age. And I just want people to know that you can be whatever age. There's no age limit on creativity. One of the reasons I even own a stamp company, my friends, is because it was a dream of mine to have my designs in rubber, and later, of course, in stencils and in art foamies. That was my dream. And so if it's other people's dream, I want you to know that it also can come true. Okay. I don't want there to be a limit on dreams or on creativity. No age limit, no color limit, no limit. Okay. So, very important to me that you don't have to have a huge social media following. You don't have to be 25, and it's just a matter of sharing, showing, and passion. Okay. And I also would love, for future reference, this year we're pretty booked up for pop-up shops, but if you have a dream of having a pop-up shop, or somebody who you would love to recommend for having a pop-up shop, please do. Okay. Now, I can't make any guarantees, but I want you to know it is sort of a model that we want to go to. We're not going to inundate you with it. We want to keep them sort of special, but I would love for your suggestions, your thoughts, and of course, you all always inspire me, and always have great suggestions and recommendations. I hope you know that we always try to listen. And so that's my story. I'm so honored. I'm going to turn this camera back around for a minute. Okay. I just want to tell you, Wendy, and all of you. I know Jim is saying 57. Don't I wish? Catherine says, I remember being 57. I don't care if you're 87. Okay. This is a art and a craft and a place and a space for everybody of every age. Okay. And so, I don't want any limitations on that, but, anyway, I just want to say to your face, Wendy, thank you always for, your support of our business, of my small business. Thank you for all your sharing, all of your beautiful art, all of your makeys. And if I could help bring this to fruition, I'm so happy and so honored. And I hope everybody loves them as much as I do. I'm so excited to show you all the designs and to show you all the samples. Wendy has loads of samples that she's done. I want you all to know we've been kind of working on this since November. Okay. So yes, happy birthday to Patty Campbell. Oh my gosh. And I did not realize that was your age. I thought we were again, about 1 year apart. Linda, I need to start a journal of KP quotes. Please do, so I can remember them. Anyway, so Patty says, I just started selling my art in the last 8 years in retirement age. So yes, we all, dreams come true when they're supposed to. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you all of Wendy's wonderful images. Again, she has so many samples on her page. She has beautiful videos that she's done. She's literally outdone herself. So please make sure you follow Wendy, you support her art, you go over, look at her samples. We'll, of course, be sharing all throughout the week because remember, the pop-ups are only 1 week long, okay? So it'll be from this Friday through next Friday. We are not offering any discounts or specials because our sort of what am I trying to say? Our agreement with the artist is much different. Okay. So for patrons, I am going to give you a small discount after the live. I'll give you a code, but you don't get your regular Patreon discount for this. I apologize for that. I hope they understand. It's just supporting the artist that you love a little bit more. So again, thank you. I'm going to turn the camera around, like I said, and we're going to get makey. All right, let's do this. Okay. So one of the very first things I'm going to share, because it's not quite, I will say it's not as exciting because you've seen these before. These are the ArtFoamies poetry, or is an ArtFoamies poetry set, but it's actually under Wendy's special collection because this is her set of words that she specifically asked for a special workshop that she's going to be giving. So, you know, and I don't know for 100%, but I will tell you that you might be able to still get some of these from Wendy later. If you know, I don't know how she's going to work that out. Again, all of the other images for sure are only going to be available for 1 week. This may come back out for a short period of time through Wendy when her class begins. Okay. Still working out that detail, but we do have these ArtFoamies poetry sets in lots of different words. What they are is they are collections of random words, okay, that you can collect so that you can put together your own quotes, your own poems, your own thoughts, whatever. Again, all random words, but this one is special to Wendy. It is called the I Am collection. And again, she chose all the words for special projects that she is doing. But I love it because of what it says. Okay, so you have the I Am, which is what kind of sets it apart from the other ArtFoamies poetry sets. And then, of course, you have these very, you know, kind of inspired and, you know, positive affirmation words. Okay. So, for those of you who love the ArtFoamies poetries, then you're going to love this. All right. And again, this is only going to be available for this limited time. So I want to just show you that one first because, you know, it's not, as, you know, unique and different as all of Wendy's other imagery that are from her hand. Okay. So here we go. And we do have some beautiful, awesome samples. I'm so excited. And I was the lucky recipient. So here we go. You know, many of you know that Wendy is a slow stitcher and she does beautiful sewing and stitching projects. And so this is one of them. I know she's going to be offering this at her special retreat that she will be teaching this summer on the East Coast. So please make sure that you check that out. I do think that they have a couple spots left. And again, this is sort of like a plushie, but with, again, the I Am affirmations and with the large doll or dress forms, because I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out. We have 3 dress forms for you. And one of the things that we did that we thought would be sort of fun and a little bit different and unique is that we sort of made them to be like imprint pads. Okay, so you can use these 4 patterns and in a similar way that you would use an imprint pad, although you have the extra benefit of having the dress forms. And of course, again, even though they're not perfectly 100% symmetrical, okay, they are close enough that you can also use the backs as a solid shape and then use the fronts for your patterning, okay? Super cute shapes. We do have the Empire dress. We have the A-line, and we have the apron / tank. And of course, I love all the patterns inside. I will be stamping them for you. Sorry. I just trailed off because I was trying to read the comments. Shame on me. Anyway, so I love the patterns in these, and of course, we'll be stamping them and showing them. And I'm going to pull out also some other samples, you know, as I go along, just to be sharing them with you as I'm showing them. So again, this is the tank or A-line. Many of you know we're doing Rolodexy too, right? So I love these as Rolodexes, okay? Rolodexes. So here again is the little tank or / apron dress, and I did cut it so it's a little bit short. So of course that's kind of fun. You can extend these down a little bit longer if you need to, or you can also shorten them and make them into t-shirts, right? So here I have this little tank t-shirt Rolodexy. And then I wanted to share this with you, even though I haven't gotten to this stamp yet. These are two of my favorites. I really love her Bliss Angels. She has a set of Bliss Angels, but I did want to share with you how I used the dress forms, okay? Both of them. You see this one in the background and this one in the background as imprint pads, okay, as a background. So just, you know, reimagine that and take away the dress form shape. So I want you to know that it's so versatile, right? So just really love, again, you know, her figures, her angels, and her aesthetic. It just goes so beautifully together. All right. So here's another sample, sort of using a mishmash of those. I'm going to go ahead, since I've shared with you the large dress forms, and of course we wanted to make them large, and they are approximately, I think about 6 by, oh gosh, I don't even know, 5 by 7, 6 by 8. Let me measure again because the old memory bank, a little slow, a little weak. So yeah, this one's about, 5, yeah, 5 by 6, about 5 by 6. Okay. So we wanted to make them a nice larger size because we felt like it would make a good, you know, size for imprinting, for backgrounds, but also a nice size of dress for her specific project. Okay. But we also know that we have a lot of card makers. We have some other fun size girls and things that would work better with a little bit smaller size, okay? So we did do them in smaller sizes as well, okay? What I love about this, and oh my gosh, I just think they're way too cute. And again, you know, you can always use the back and make your own patterns, okay? So you're not married to that pattern, okay? But you got 1, you got 2, and you got 3. And the great thing about it is that these dresses, while I'm not trying to be selfish, they do, you know, fit pretty nicely with some of the new girls' faces that I did. And some of the other, I can't think right offhand, but some of the other figures that we have and faces will work with these dresses. Oh, I think Joni Hallmark's paper dolls fit pretty nicely with this size as well. So, you know, again, not married to the pattern, but they will come in handy for lots of things, okay? And not to mention Rolodexes. Anyway, All right, so those are the dress forms, and again, so many cute projects just waiting at the ready for you. All right, we also have something that we just had to do it because Wendy is known, you know, for her stitching, pretty prevalent in her you know, in her aesthetic. So she went ahead and she did the little scissors. It's a little set. It's a little sewing kit. I think this would be so cute for shrinkies. Oh my gosh, the cutest little set of shrinkies, charms for a little sewing person, you know. And of course, again, I can't stand how many Rolodexes I'm making. Sherry! Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you. Something that would really help when there are both large and small versions of each size listed. Oh wait, did I miss something? Did we miss a suggestion? Because it is on the drop down. So Linda says, Wendy at Bliss Angel, you've been holding out on us. Yes, it was so hard. Oh my gosh. We wanted so badly to show these samples to you all. Anyway, so I thought this was so cute, and you definitely have to see all Wendy's samples with this. Oh my God. I mean, so many of her samples are just blowing mine away. Sadly, I don't have them here necessarily to, you know, I don't have them in hand to show you. So you'll just have to go follow her so you can see them all. All right. Okay. This is one she made for me too, and I haven't been able to share it. Oh, okay, Sherry. You know, we love the suggestions, and we do try to show pictures, you know, so we showed in the pictures like the large and the small, but I know sometimes it is confusing and it's hard to know if there's the drop down, you know, so I get it. I know, Puffer, I know. This is a Rolodexy that Wendy made for me using her her new ArtFoamies, and I've just now finally been able to share. So you can see how beautifully that you can also, if you, again, you don't have to be married to the patterning, okay? You can obliterate the pattern on the body or the wings and make it your own. That is, but the nice thing about having, you know, the nice thing about having the patterning is that you have the option, right? Carmen says, the sewing designs remind me of my grandmother and learning to sew as a child. Yes. So I probably won't do the Sunny's arms in this Zoom, Bernadette, but if you remind me during Daily Heart coming up this week, I definitely will pull those out. Only just because I don't have them handy, you know, right now. But definitely remind me upcoming, Bernadette, and I'll be happy to share those with you. Anyway, so you can see how beautifully, and I think, yes, I'm going to be showing you the stitching patterns next because sort of wanting to show you. Here are the two Bliss Angels, and it does come as a set. And the reason we did it as a set is because a couple of reasons. We felt that if we did it as a set, it wouldn't be confusing because they are similar in nature, you know, a little hard to sort of pick out, but they're different enough to where I would like to have both. But since they are right and left facing, we just thought it would be nice to have the set. And that way we also did not have to make up a differential. So you do get the Bliss Angel 1 and 2, okay? And I love to show you how different they can look. I have them here, okay? I have them here, and I do love the black and white. You can see too how I just use the side of her body across the top. to make little border. Used some of her body to create some of this other patterning, and did a lot of like cross black and white doodling on the white with black and on the black with white. So it makes sort of a fun, I don't know, a fun mashup. And you can really see the difference, you know, sort of in the hair and the faces and the halos. But I love having the right and left facing. And then also I felt like if you wanted to give one to wings, you'd be able to just ink up one set of wings and use it on the other, right? So there's that. And then I did take a little time. I wanted to do something sort of special, and I did create her. And you can see, again, just how you can change it up so easily and sort of make it your own, instead of using her, you know, in a sort of more literal way. I just went ahead and extended her hair, and I ended up painting out some of the spots and just doing something a little bit different with her body. So really fun, really fun. I love playing around like this, and of course using some of my favorite ArtFoamies stamps, new and old. And then last but not least, okay, I'm going to pull this one out. And this is just sort of a big mashup, a big fun watercolor mashup of her stitches. Again, we really felt like we should have some organic sort of stitch look, sort of patterning and background, because this is really what she's known for. And if you, again, follow her, then you know her aesthetic is, it's just so nice. Okay. Also, I have these stamped out here separately. I just got to find them to show them to you. All right. So again, here is sort of just a big mashup of these stitches. And I'm sorry, but I don't have my website open to be able to tell you the name, but I believe this is Heart Stitches. Let me go ahead and pull that up because I don't want to mess up the names here. All right, so this one is Heart Stitches. And again, let me see if I can find, I thought I had them all stamped out for you, but no, now they seem to be missing. Well, anyway, here's Heart Stitches. You can see it stamped here. This is what happens when I think I'm organized. All right, well, I can't find it. There it is, Heart Stitches. We have Flower Stitches. Sorry, I'm getting them confused now. Here we go, Flower Stitches. And I love this. I don't know why. For some reason, this reminds me of a window. I don't know, something about it. And I don't know. This is one of my favorites. And I like that it has the hearts and the floral, and then the little sort of, I don't know, I think of it as a little window in there. And then we have Spiral Stitches. This one is, oh, here's the flower stitches. And we have Spiral Stitches. And I love this too, with the vine kind of going up the side. And again, these make wonderful sort of repeat patterns and overlapping patterns. This one here, this is actually, I think this has to be my all-time favorite of the stitch collection, and it is Brocade pattern. And I don't know if you can kind of see it here, but I just love that sort of, I don't know, that batik-y sort of, I don't know, very heavily dense pattern look. And then it sort of trails off into these little stitches, and I don't know, just really love that one. And again, that's Brocade. And then finally, daisy stitches. Okay, and then here's daisy stitches. So I know I cannot wait until you all get some of these in your hands to see what you will do with them. In the meantime, I am going to just show you a fun little technique that I've sort of been playing around with. I'm going to pull out, I'm going to do something similar to this for you. I'm going to pull out, again, this large piece of watercolor paper. All right, and it's hot. This is hot press. And you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to stop just for a second, and I want to go and wash off one of my stamps. These all have a little bit of ink still on them, and so I at least, and that's okay, but I at least want one of them to be clean. These all have, right now, these have Moonlight Duo ink on them. I'm going to clean this one off. Actually, I'll do this one because it's the most bold. I'm going to clean this and I'll be right back. And we're going to do a fun sort of little watercolor technique using some Moonlight Duo ink. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to stop. I've been talking a lot. And let's see. I just want to know if anybody has any thoughts or questions before we keep going. If you have any questions, yes. So I think Maxie Moon is answering. The collection will be up through the 5th, I believe, right? Through next Friday. All right, so I have a nice clean, hopefully dry ArtFoamy, okay? I am going to take a clean, fresh scrap buddy. I'm going to take a little bit of white Moonlight Duo, extra white, what do we call it? Moonlight White. I don't know if it's called extra white. I don't even know the names of my own inks anymore. Anyway, the Moonlight Duo white ink. All right, and I'm just going to, and this is a hybrid ink, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and load up this stamp. Stamp it around a couple times. Yes, we're so excited that you love it. All right, so it is have a little bit of a tinge to it. I don't know if you can really see that at all. When I turn off the light, you can see it a little bit better. I guess there was still a tiny bit of blue, but that's okay. It's mostly white. You can't see it too well, but of course, when I turn it that way, you can see it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it again a couple times, just randomly, you know, here and there. And of course, you know, it does not have to be white ink. You could be using another color ink, but with the white ink, this is going to, you know, just give you sort of a fun, almost like a resist, okay? Now, if you, keeping in mind, if you want a little tinge of color, okay, so on this one, I do have a little bit of green, okay? I can take, obviously, I'm going to contaminate my scrap buddy if I go over this, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some A little bit of white right over this. Again, sort of dirty, or when I say dirty, it just has a little bit of green ink on there. A little bit of Moonlight Duo ink, because that's what I had used last on here. Okay. And so when I stamp this, it is going to probably give a little bit of color. Okay. It's going to, a little more than like what that did. Okay. Can see that gave me just a little tinge of color, right? So it depends what you're doing. Like, it's up to you. If you want, you know, that little tinge of color, then you should have sort of a, you know, and I'm using air quotes, but sort of a dirty or a stained stamp. Okay. But if you want it to be mostly, just more of a resist without color, then you're going to want to use just white ink on a very clean stamp, okay? So, and you know, one thing I will say about ArtFoamies, and probably you know this, is they do have a tendency to hold on to the color, okay? So, you know, sometimes it can be a little tricky to get them all the way back to 100% pristine, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, I am going, this is my favorite one, and I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to use the 3. I'm not going to use all 5. I'm going to load this up again with a little more white ink. And this has a little bit of color on it too, so it's going to, you know, come off on there. But I like how each one has a very sort of soft color to it. And that's because it really only has just a little bit, you know, of color residue on there. It's not, I didn't load it up with, you know, I have already off stamped it. And again, you know, of course you can just keep overlapping. You don't have to necessarily ink it up every single time, but you are going to want, you know, a fairly decent stamping, okay? So. All right, so now I have everything all kind of stamped up. Well, kind of missing a spot over here. Let's just go back with my first one. Well, no, that one is kind of dirty now. We'll just do this one. There we go. All right. I am going to blow dry just really quickly, just to make sure it's kind of set in there. Okay. And, you know, that my ink is pretty much dry, I guess you could say. And so now you're just going to take your watercolors, okay? And I'm going to want a pretty washy watercolor. So I have some nice, clean, fresh water right here. And then you can see these spots are the lightest. And I'm just going to... You know what? I actually want to take a couple of the words real quick. I just need a word or two in here from Wendy's collection. Where did I set those at? Where did I put the words? Well, I guess I won't use words because I don't know where I set them already. Oh my gosh. Oh man. It's probably like on top of my head or something. Where did I set those words? Ah, underneath the papers. And the reason why is because I actually have a little sample here. This is the technique I'm doing right now, and that's the word. I just love the way the word came out. So I want to do it again. I love using words in the background too. So this will be great, especially if I want to turn this into a folder. A lot of times I love doing these large pieces of paper so that I can turn them into folders to, you know, hoard more artwork. All right. So now you know what we're going to do, right? We're just going to splash some watercolor. So start by, you know, just taking some of your favorite colors. You want things that are sort of a little, you know, have some value so that it'll sort of show up. The nice thing is that that Moonlight Duo ink sort of acts as a little bit of a resist. Can you see it? Sort of moving off there. Now, not to say that it will not colorize the white ink. It sort of will. It will cling to that. But as you can see, it sort of turns it. It just clings to the ink a little bit and creates these sort of really lovely, almost like shadows. Okay, and you can see where it's doing that, and you can see where like this stamp was a little bit tinted. Okay, so I love that. I love the possibilities that it just sort of opens. I love being able to, most all of you know how much I love my watercolors, okay? So I love just exploring the patterns this way and seeing them begin to change the edges of each image, sort of grabs the watercolor in a little bit different of a way. You get some really nice blossoming in the background. So it's just a great way to play. And it's, again, especially I feel like with some of these pattern images are great for this because you're getting the texture, you're getting those little edges catching the water and the pigment, and then you're also getting the blossoming and the transparencies behind it. Okay, so it's just again, not only a great sort of fun technique, but a relaxing way to play. Okay, at least in my book. And of course, play with different color combinations over whatever sort of tints that you created when you put your colors down. And you can see I'm very pale right now. I'm working really watery and with very sort of thin washes of watercolor. But of course, you know, as always, I can continue to build that up. You know, if I want certain areas, for example, you know, maybe if this is a little bit dry now and I want to go back over, okay, and layer around, or, you know, drop in more color and sort of even layer around that a little bit, I can do that. It'll sort of catch. So, you know, and it's just making, again, its own other little, you know, patterns and textures because that hybrid ink is kind of pushing away some of the water, right? So that's what it is because it's hybrid ink. It is not completely like a water-soluble ink. If you notice, whenever you've used the Moonlight Duos, it does almost have like a little bit of an oil base. So I feel like it's pushing away that water, and it is, you know, giving some of that resist. Okay, so super fun. And of course, I can continue again to build up areas of color. You know, the brighter that I go, then some of those under layers are going to show up even more, right? See where it's a little bit sort of weak right there, but if I put a little smoosh of color over the top and then push it with a little bit of water, it draws them out. And so you see them come up just a little bit more, right? Let's try some orange. Oh gosh, let's see. Let's do some transparent pyrrole orange. Anyway, it's not like you can make these images look bad, but they sure are, you know, you can still make them your own. You can sure have fun with them. They're not going to look bad though, because they're just fun, whimsical, sort of just, you know, very loose, I guess you could say, loose patterns that sort of, you know, lend themselves to making it your own. This is what I love, is stamps that you can incorporate into your work. And even though it is Wendy's aesthetic, or if it's, you know, whoever drew the stamp, like if it's my aesthetic, you can incorporate it into your work and make it your own through your own creative process, your colors, your layers, and your patterning, you know. So, but super fun ideas. And I just have to say also that I loved collaborating with Wendy on this collection, because I know, you know, at first she was a little nervous. She wasn't sure. And I'm so proud and happy, you know, that I feel like I was able to really, you know, say to Wendy, like, this is your strength. And also this is an area where ArtFoamies does not have, you know, we don't have any stamps that really look like stitches and whimsical background patterns. Maybe you could do something like that. And she just, you know, she got the concept and she just like had them to me the next week. You know, it was really just a great fun experience. So one of the best parts of my job, being able to work with other artists and really see their creative process and their creative ideas come to light. So anyway, this ends up sort of looking like a little bit of a patchwork, I guess, in a sense, when you're done, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it here. Not that there's any right or wrong, but I hope that you sort of get the general gist, and that you enjoy this little technique. And, you know, again, if you don't have any Moonlight Duo tint and hue ink pads, you can just get yourself a Moonlight Duo white re-inker and some scrap buddies, and, you know, go to town. If you have Moonlight Duos, then of course you can use the white side of the pad. I do find, I will not lie to you, I do find sometimes that Moonlight Duos can be the actual pad can be a little bit constricting, because they're, you know, because they're so small for the larger ArtFoamy. So one of the things that I love doing is, you know, using them on my scrap buddies. And remember, one of the things when I'm doing something like this, especially, I'm trying to keep in mind a little unity and variety. Again, you've seen me do this before. If you don't like the color that you put down, it's pretty easy to get a thirsty brush, pull out some of that color, and you can reapply your color. I mean, it's not exactly erasing, but if you're going to, again, erase in air quotes, then that's the way you're going to do it. I'm just debating what color I'd rather have over here. Since I didn't want the purple, we'll just, I guess, go back to a little magenta. And maybe a little blue, because this is my only blue now. So we're talking about that unity and variety. I'm pulling some blue now. Little water. And, you know, layers. Always with layers. Oh, I just love, do you see how it's sort of, I don't know, it kind of washes out the word, but yet some of the ways, again, that water pulls around the white ink is really what I love. And so, and you'll see it more as it dries. So some of it looks almost like it's a little bit obliterated, but it's really not. As it dries, it will start to do that a little bit more, although better on the actual white, where I stamped just plain white, than where it was tinted. Okay. So anyway, that, my friends, is our little fun demo and technique for the evening. I hope that you love the new collection, that you support Wendy at Bliss Angel Studios for her pop-up shop. Whether, again, whether or not you buy them, please just give her some love and share them. Of course, if you do buy them, which we also love, then we cannot wait to see what you make and share. If you would like to come on over to the after party, I will be sharing a little bit of this technique with you, and then of course Wendy will be there to chat with us and to show off all her samples. All right. So again, let me just say thank you so much, as always, for being here with me for ArtFoamies Fun Friday, for sharing your love of ArtFoamies and all of our excitement. Yeah, oh, right, so fun. I'm going to turn this camera around again, just so I can say thank you in person. And I love you all to the moon and back. You know the deal. Stay safe, stay sane, stay makey. And I'll see you next week. And come on over to the after party if you want to. Mwah. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you really soon. And again, thank you so much, Wendy. And Bev, oh my gosh, I didn't even say hi to you. Thanks for coming. See you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.